Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm good too. How is school? Are you on vacation? Oh,
Uh, we resume today.
okay. Today, Sunday. Okay.
Yesterday. So weekend. Yesterday we resumed yesterday. So today, we had some lectures.
How did it go?
Um, it wasn't bad. You know, we had a discussion on how the semester is going to go and the things we need to do.
Okay.
So maybe from next week going, that's when the pressure will start to.
We'll start. Yeah. True. True. Okay. So I don't know. Should we wait till 8:10 then we start?
Yeah, let's wait small, then we know what to do.
All right. So how long should we wait? Do you have a specific time?
Let's say 5.
5 more minutes. So 8:12.
Sure.
Okay. Okay then. 8:12. Then we'll start. Okay then.
Okay, we can go ahead. I think time is not on our side.
Okay, so our first question, before we proceed, let me just do the usual introduction. So today is our 6th week, and today's topic is on whether we could have more women be presidents in Ghana or in Nigeria in the years to come. So without much further ado, I just go into the first question, which is why hasn't Ghana or Nigeria had a female president yet? So because we don't have our Nigerian people on the panelists now, we'll just stick to Ghana. I hope you're comfortable with that.
Okay, I'm okay with it. Well, I can just take it from any angle, make it a
Okay,
general.
then that would be fantastic. That would be creative. Okay. Okay, then you have the floor.
Yeah. So I think looking at these two countries and looking at the story years ago, we can say that, or I can say that there's a low political support when it comes to women involvement in politics. Okay, and there's that kind of people supporting women in politics is very low. Okay, as compared to men. Anytime men are involved in politics, they get a lot of massive support, and
Yeah.
people do it a lot. I don't know why. I don't know why they do follow it. I don't know. Is it that men are naturally let's say good leaders or that kind of, yeah. But
I think people
we
go
also
with
have women
familiarity.
who are good when it comes to leadership. Okay. They,
Mhm.
they are very good in taking leadership roles and then exhibiting them very well. Yeah,
Mm.
but in this case, there's low political support, and again, there's also lack of funding. There's also lack
Mm.
of funding when it comes to women in politics. People don't invest much in women in politics. Okay, the resources, that is their time, and then money. Okay, they don't feel that much.
Yeah.
So I think when much time is being put in or is being given to women in politics, I think a time will come, Ghana will have a female president, Nigeria will also have a female president. And
Mm.
in Ghana, I think this time around we have a vice president, and years to come, it wouldn't be surprised that we are going to get a female president because
Yeah.
gradually uh, setting the pace for
Yeah.
the other fellow women to also climb the political ladder. And in Nigeria too, we have other female ministers and then MPs. Just that they don't have a vice president as a female and a
Yes. Yeah.
female president yet. So with time and with effort, they will get there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And on the question of why the males are supported more. People like familiarity. People don't generally go towards change. I think that's also a factor. It's a thing of, if I haven't seen it before, why should I go putting my energy or time into it or supporting it? So I think that's also a factor. People don't really like change. It takes a lot of time for change to actually occur because people like to get used to where they are, even if it's pain. People like what's not new. Okay, so my second question is, do cultural norms prevent voters from trusting women with power?
Okay, so I would say yes, because many cultural still view leadership as a male role and expect women to focus on family or soft roles. Okay,
Yeah.
with politics, it's a role that if you're not someone who can endure, I mean, if you're not someone who can endure people's reactions, it's kind of very difficult. Because when you are doing something or when there is an agenda out, okay, and you propagate, okay, you do a whole lot of discussion or you bring out your views, okay, you are going to get people who will sabotage your opinions. You are going to get people who will say negative things about whatever you are doing, okay. So if you are not
Mm,
that kind of person who can tolerate people's ideas, people's opinions, sorry, if you are not that kind of person who can tolerate people's that kind of opinions, anytime you are going to find yourself wanting. And women are so emotional. The little thing they get angry.
mm.
Yes.
Are
The
you
little
sure?
thing they
Because it's I think the emotion anger is associated with the masculine person instead. Or is that not what you're saying? Anger, right?
no, I think women mostly get angry.
That's interesting. You're the
Yes.
first person I'm hearing saying this. Because
Really?
usually when yes, actually, you're the first person. Usually when they say the emotion, they mean cry or weep or be dramatic, sort of in that sense. But they all don't mention the emotion anger. And so I go on to ask the question, anger is an emotion and which gender portrays anger more? And then they are like, oh, it's the men. I'm like, okay. It's funny you are the first person I'm hearing this from because you let me just create a scenario here.
Okay.
Probably high school or something like that. Which one throws a punch first if both parties are having issues, like two girls, two boys in sense?
Um, as in a conversation, right? Or if let's say they are arguing, right?
Yeah.
I think girls normally do that.
That's interesting because you're actually the first person ever. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So I think we should go on to our third question. Are there double standards in leadership expectations?
Yeah, there are double standards. In leadership role, if if a person is being given the mandate to lead a group, okay, you need to play a multitask role. Okay, you need to divide yourself into two. I mean, you have to make sure that as two things or two activities are going on, you need to supervise both of them equally. You don't have to pay your attention to one and leave the other one. So leadership role is quite demanding and it needs double standards. Yeah, let me put it that way.
Okay, so according to what you just said, the females can't multitask. Is that what you mean?
It is not every. Let me say on a percentage. I think I will say 50. Let me say okay, let me say 40 women can't do multitasking. Okay, 40 women can do multitasking because women don't want to be loaded.
That's really interesting because I don't know the kind of woman you've come across as a person, so I can't necessarily put you in a box, like want to give you my experiences. And most of the things I'm saying is not from my experiences, from what other people say or from pieces of researches that I've read,
For me,
which
it's
is
from my
weird.
experience. I have worked in
Okay,
an environment where, the females are around, they don't want to be loaded. Okay. They always
interesting. Mine
want
is quite opposite. Mm,
okay.
mine is
They
actually quite
always
opposite.
they always want to get things on a normal level. Okay. So assuming, let's say, you want to give duties to, let's say, a lady and a guy. Okay, maybe the activity is about six, right? And you divide it equally, right? Now, the female is going to complain that it's too much for her, right? So you need to
Okay.
reduce it.
I think the people you've met are not quite hardworking.
Okay.
Yeah. Because on a spectrum, most people, or because I don't want to mention specific people, but most people that I know would say the opposite. And even research shows that, okay, in terms of multitasking, the female gender does quite well. If you look at things that they could do bits at a time, they do quite well. But that doesn't cut across for everybody. There are people who are also very lazy. And in
Oh
terms of
yeah,
experiences, you
that one
said,
is true. That one is
yeah,
true.
and in terms of experiences, most of the guys I've actually met are actually feel like they are being burdened with things. So I think it's a whole bunch of the place you also find yourself could be a place filled with lazy people. Yeah. So the next question is, do men feel threatened by the idea of a female head of state?
Well, I'll say some do, some do not.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay. That was a very simple answer. So our fifth question is, what strategies would it take to win a national election as a woman?
Okay, so I think clear messaging, or maybe clear conversation or communication, and social media presence, and strong grassroots support. Okay,
Mm,
if if uh, if women want to win during election, okay, they need to work on the ground very well. They need to do public education to the voters. Okay, they need to win their attention. I mean, tell them the importance of election, the importance of them, the voters voting for the candidates or the female to be in power. Okay, and they also need to involve the social media. Okay, yeah, just to broadcast the the information to a large group of people.
okay.
Mm, there are many more.
Mm, okay. So our sixth question is, are there enough financial and party structures to support a female campaign?
Well, I would say not enough, not enough. Yes, there is, but not enough. Because if I say there is not, and that is not possible, there is, but just that is not enough. Okay, so many parties prioritize male candidates, and then funding networks for women are very weak. Okay, so
Mm,
most of the time the funding they give to women are very weak. They are not enough, and I think they should give women the maximum resources as they also give to males, so that
mm,
show their they can also show their experience. I mean, their knowledge and then integrity when it comes to politics.
okay. My next question is, how can we change perceptions from first lady to first in command?
Okay, so I think we need to promote visible, competent, and female leaders. And then we need to also educate and normalize women in authority. And then we need to also challenge the social media bias. So we need to educate the public, okay, on women in politics or in women in authority. Okay, the people needs to know the mandate the mandate of the leaders, okay, in authority. They need to give them the maximum respect. They need to know their presence in authority and what is being required of them. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good approach. Our last
But
question
do you
is,
have something to add it to it?
actually, I don't have a lot to say about this, except that you've said it all, except that I would like to add the fact that they have to be good people. I really look at it from a point of, I don't care your gender. If you're not a good person, you shouldn't be there. So if we really want to change that whole perception or command or the perception, then the person has to also be a kind and good person. We just don't want any bad day. Okay, so my last question is, what would Ghana look like under female leadership?
Okay, so both countries will look like under female leadership that is possibly more focused on what healthcare. So if if a woman is in politics in Ghana, the person needs to, take proper care or needs to consider healthcare, education, gender equality, and then inclusive governance. Okay, so the person needs to prioritize his or her resources and then her energy into what healthcare. Okay, he needs to make sure that the people get what quality healthcare. He needs to make sure that the people get what the best education and then other what social amenities. Okay, so they need to do all this for the people so that they can know the relevance of them voting for these women in politics. Because if they give you the mandate and you don't provide or you don't help them to solve their social needs, okay, and the time comes for accountability, I don't think these same people will vote for you again. No,
Yes,
definitely
people are
they will
smart.
change you and bring a different person.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think this is how they can do it. Before you you enter into politics, okay, you need to get that foundation. You need to get a solid foundation. Maybe you have that interest in becoming what a politician, right? You can take it upon yourself. Maybe with every year you concentrate on maybe education. So you can get some stationary materials to some schools in your community. Okay. Once you do these things, the people will know that no, this person is a good person. He thinks about the community, he thinks about the society. So when you avail yourself for political appointees, okay, they will easily support you because of what
Mm,
you've been doing for them. You get it?
okay.
Yes, they'll definitely support you and everything will be easy.
Okay, that's a wrap then. I think we used less than 30 minutes today. Would you like to add anything before we say our goodbyes?
Yeah, I would like to add something small. So I think women are not doing badly when it comes to politics. They are trying their possible best, and they they need to keep on doing their best because when it comes to politics, women are contributing a lot. Currently, they are contributing a lot. Because recently there was an accident in the eastern region, and the eastern regional minister was around, and she personally gave his car and sent one of the victim. I think it was a pregnant woman. Okay,
Oh,
she yeah, she allowed them to, I mean, put the pregnant woman into her car and they sent her to the hospital. And she
hmm.
did very well. When I heard the news, I was so
Yeah,
happy.
that's a kind gesture.
I was so happy. Yeah, I was so happy. So I think women are doing well. They are doing well. And we need to see more women in politics. We need to see more women in politics so that at least one day we can have a female president either in Nigeria or in Ghana or in any other neighboring countries around Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your contributions today. Today has been a quick one. My name
Yeah,
is
sure.
Abigail, and my panel has been with Mr. Ebenezer Nyako. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Okay. I wish you a great week ahead.
Thank you. Same to you.